It was just the front page of Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Bronze to GM. I was going to say League Heroes, but I forgot. This is the wrong series, you know? It's the wrong series. So, when we last left off, we were in the prestigious League of Silver 2. And today, we're going to be trying to get to at least Silver 1, hopefully Gold 3. I would like to go up another league, but, you know, we do these episodes in three game increments. So, yeah. Let's get her started. I've raised my APM. Once I get to gold, I'm gonna raise my APM cap to like 150, and then I think plat's gonna be 200, diamond 250. And by diamond, I'm probably gonna just give myself free reign, and then just make sure I continue to talk about it. You know. I've seen gold players with more APM. I had 20. Yeah, but you're bad. Like you're terrible at the game. So I don't know what you want. You don't play with the goal. You just play. All right, start our SCV. Gonna go ahead and rally it out here. Set our locations. Wait, Shift F1, Shift F2. 4. Start another SCV. It's gonna be a Terran versus Protoss.
Not enough minerals.
Against a gold opponent. Good luck, have fun, as always. Okay. And now, always in TVP, we're gonna go ahead and get our gas at the 27-second mark. 27 to 32 between that time.
Additional supply depots required.
Now, as soon as we get enough minerals, we're going to go ahead and slap that barracks down at the 46-second mark, aka 16 supply. I'm gonna go ahead and rally this SCV over here and make sure our gas is marked. Now, the probe comes in, and at the higher level, the probe will generally attack the SCV. So we'll see if he does that here. If so, we'll pull one guy off. One guy off to attack the probe, but he doesn't. He's just coming in for info. So if Protech would want a 2v2 for the memes, like, and we just roast each other in Discord, I would do that, bro. That would be content for sure. But anyways, so we're gonna be rallying this SCV down here to make a command center. I do my little, you know what, just for the memes. Here we go. Here's my heart. There you go. All right, gonna start that orbital. Go ahead and get a Reaper for the scouting purposes. He said he would be down? Really?
Not enough minerals.
I'm gonna need you to, okay, give him my Discord info. There you go. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and place the factory down as well. Sorry about that, guys. I got an opportunity from my chat. I am live every time I film these videos, so. At 21 supply, we're gonna go ahead and put this depot down, and at 50 gas, you want to go ahead and get your reactor. We're gonna be going for a sort of like I kind of want to go for an early tank push this game. I don't think we need to. We're just gonna demonstrate how to solidly execute a build order. At 22 supply, we're gonna go ahead and get our gas, and I'm gonna rally all my production together. I get my Reaper, and we're going to move it across. We just want to get info. We're not going too deep. All right. Now, make sure the SCV production keeps up, and we're going to put on gas right now. Go ahead and get a tech lab on my factory, and I'm going to get this SCV. I'm going to go ahead and build my second barracks and 2 Marines. And there's a cannon at the front. That's fine. So we saw what we needed to see. We saw that he has a low ground pylon. He has an arty pylon down there. Go ahead and get that orbital. Make sure the SCVs are still producing. At 50, drop that next mule, and we're going to go ahead and start our first siege tank. I'm going to go ahead and get these Marines to break that rock. Just that's something to do. And I'm going to rally my workers down to the other mineral patches. Now, once these are done,
Command center upgrade.
I'm going to start my SCVs, and now I'm going to go for my starport at about the 325 mark. And then I'm going to drop my mule. And right now, I'm just going to make Marines from this naked barracks and tanks.
Not enough minerals.
We're going to start this other
Not
tank,
enough minerals.
or another SCV, and now we really need to go for a supply depot at 42.
Not enough
I dig the way you narrate what you're doing. I appreciate that. It's very much important for things at this level that I kind of explain what's going on. So make sure the SCVs keep
Not
going.
enough minerals.
And now, since we built a couple Marines, you only ever want to build 2 Marines maximum out of a naked barracks. Although at that point, you're just kind of wasting the potential. So we're going to build a medevac out of the starport, and we're going to keep the depots coming as well. Now, this one is a little lacking in the SCV production, but it's because we're spending so much money on units early on. So now we're going to start the stim pack, as well as keep the SCVs going. And I'm going to go ahead and start walking my units across. Now, once this medevac comes out, thank you for the follow, TurtleBoy117. I appreciate that. We're going to rally this medevac across with the rest of our units by right-clicking on the tank. And we're going to keep building depots. At this point, at about the 36 to 37 SCV mark, you want to start your second, I'm going to go ahead and boost that medevac, third gas geyser. You want to get a reactor on this starport, as well as start a third barracks. That way you can make your bio follow-up a little bit stronger. And we're going to go ahead and start an engineering bay. Now, once we get outside of his base, I'm going to siege my tanks, and we're going to A-move. I told you, the whole point of this series is we're going to A-move without watching. Like, we're not going to care about our army. I'm going to go ahead and build a second depot at home. GG. GG is called, I guess, or no GG. There tends to be a lot of no GGs. Like, there's something, if you are a newer player watching this series, GG after every game, man. It's just a game. Like, at the end of the day, we're all talking about self-improvement, right? So, all right. GG to that guy. Damn it. 10 over. Shouldn't have made the Marines tack the rocks. There's too much appums. Oh, what's up, Turtle Boy? Welcome to the stream. Right now, yeah. I do the Bronze to GM series in 3 game increments. Whether I win or lose, we just play 3 games per episode. That way, each one is about 30 minutes long, so it's not too long. You make it very informative. That's the goal. The goal is education. The goal is education and to show you how you can do it at your level type thing. Because a lot of people feel like when you talk down to them that it's just not possible. So we're keeping the APM low, and the main focus is we're building armies that you can just A-move and look away from. All you need a gold is 40 APM. Obviously not if you lost. So we hit him with the good luck, have fun. We start a drone, and we're going to rally this overlord across. Now we're going to put the hatcheries on the hotkey, shift F1, shift F2, shift F3, 4 of the locations. And then we're going to go ahead and build our overlord. Now, it needs to be noted that the camera locations don't count as APM. So, if I wanted to do something like, if they did, I would probably have on average 100 or so more. Like, go ahead and start your drone, but if you just do this, and it counts as 0 APM, even though you're hitting buttons, which I thought was kind of odd. So once this overlord finishes, we're going to go ahead and start our next 3 drones. Or you could start 2 and then the 3rd larva comes. So you want to rally one of these drones to the natural to start your hatchery on time. Can't wait when you're a Diamond 1. I've been stuck in that league for years. I'll show you how to get out of it. Diamond 1s tend to over-micro everything, so. And we're going to focus on just macro. So you place the hatchery down, go ahead and get your next drone. And build a gas geyser at 17. Now, the next drone after that, the higher we get in the leagues, the tighter the build orders are going to be. We're no longer going to be going 18-17. 18-17 was to give the lower level players leeway in terms of their build. So, once this drone comes out, he wants to be going down at about the 1 minute 15 second mark. Now, Cyril does, like, I know if you ever watch a Cyril game, his always goes down at 112 every game, but we're not Cyril. We're like a million MMR off Cyril, so we don't care right now. Keep making drones. Make sure your overlords are going to the right places. Like, I'll put this guy in the main to scout, and we'll put this guy on this pillar. That way he gives us vision. And once we have 19 drones, we're going to go ahead and get our 3rd overlord. I haven't played ranks as HOTS, made mistakes way back then. Leagues are probably tougher now. Just the general skill of the players increases, so yes, they are a little bit tougher. But the MMR cap is actually lowered because of all the new players. So we're going to go ahead and make our 3rd overlord, as well as another drone. And we're going to rally the other drone down to the natural. And we're going to take both both bases, hit G, and re-rally the minerals down to our new expansion, or the drone production. So we're going to start our Ling Speed and a Queen. And I told you guys, once we got to silver, we would start taking off gas, because you need to start, like, that stuff starts becoming important the higher we get. And if you think I'm giving too much credit to silver leaguers, I'm trying to make the silver leaguers better, okay? So, we're going to keep making drones. We're going to look at what we see. We see he has a high ground wall. He didn't scout what race we were, even though we were playing random. All right. And now, once we're at the 27 drone mark or so, I'd say, or close to 240, we're going to go ahead and send this drone out here and take another hatchery. We're going to inject with our queens, And we're at 30 supplies, so I'm going to go ahead and build my 4th Overlord. Now, the 4th Overlord's going to come give me vision over here. And since I sent this guy into Scout, that's okay. We're just going to build another Overlord just to make sure we don't get supply blocked from now on. So we're going to find another pillar for this guy and send him over there. We just want all the vision we can possibly have. We'll make this guy hold position so he doesn't move. And there we go. Now we're not going to be supply blocked. And this game, we're going to be going for a +1 melee build. So once you're supposed to do it at 72, but I missed my timing a little bit. So it's once you have 72 gas, if you're mining gas off of 1 drone, you'll perfectly land at 100 when the Evo chamber finishes. So we're going to keep building drones. We're already at 37. It's already a very healthy drone count. We haven't seen anything too aggressive. We see that he's going up to 4 gateways now, which indicates he wants to put on pressure at some point or another. But it's going to be another minute or so before he decides to do so. So once this start's about to finish, I'm going to start rallying drones over there, and we're going to re-put our drone hotkey down. And we're not going to really start crease spreading until gold, because I don't think it's that important yet. I'm going to make some more drones. I already started another Overlord after this one. So this one finished, and I already started another one. And I'm going to keep making drones. You see his warp gate's finishing, so now is going to be when the first warp in comes. So we're going to see what he warps in. There's a robo, which could indicate a warp prism, but that's still about 40 to 50 seconds off, so we're still fine at the moment. I'm going to keep making drones, and we're about to go take our 4th base. That's going to be our 4th location, and I'm going to build 2 Overlords to give us some leeway to build units. And you always want to send these Overlords out in patterns in which you can have vision. Word? Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to start some Lings, because we're already getting the upgrades for the Zerglings. So make sure we're creating our injects, which the camera locations are very important to do that with. Daryl has his own certain way, but that's fine. So we see he's warping in Stalker. So our choice of Zerglings happens to be very good here. And you notice we're floating some money, so we're going to go ahead and start a macro hatch. I'm trying to purposefully float a little bit of money so that I can show you guys that I'm trying to make it as realistic as I possibly can. So, and I'm still floating money. Well, let's go ahead and get another one. Like, whatever it takes for you to spend your money, right? So we have 100 gas now. We're going to get a layer, and we're going to go ahead and put back on gas. And I'm going to go ahead and get a second gas. We're at 51 drones. So I'm going to resaturate my main and my natural, and we're going to start putting some drones on the 4th. I have enough Lings to kind of defend right now, especially because he's been missing his warp-ins. You can tell by the amount of units that we see out front. And you can see that nothing's coming from the left side. No shenanigans are happening because we have Overlords everywhere. Now, this is the advantage of Zerg Vision. You get to know exactly what's going on. I'm going to keep making Overlords. And I'm going to go ahead and build another queen of my natural, so I can go ahead and put this queen on my macro hatch. That's just a little, kind of like a macro tip, I guess. Gonna rally 3 drones each to these gas geysers, put 2 more on there, and I'm gonna put some more drones on my 4th. Now we're up to 70, but with the style I want to play, so we see as an observer out, with the style I want to play, I kind of want to go up to like 85 to 90 drones. I'm gonna go ahead and start +1 Carapace since melee is done, and I'm gonna move these Zerglings across and keep focusing on my macro. Actually, you know what? We're gonna get a 5th base before we do that. We're gonna take this 5th base to further our point in this game, in this video game, but to take this 5th base, we need to mine these out to be efficient. So I'm going to build a round of drones right there, going up to 82. And we're going to send this guy to the macro hatches. Right now, we're going to make Lings, and we're going to put them on the first hotkey. And I'm going to still put my Overlords in places where... And since our layer's done, we're going to get a Hydra Den and a Baneling Nest and another Evolution Chamber. This way, we can start going further. And I put all of my upgrade structures on the 8 hotkey, so that way I don't have to necessarily look back to get my upgrades. I'm going to go ahead and start my 5th and 6th gases. And now we're at 85 drones, exactly where I said we wanted to be a minute ago. And it's only 6.5 minutes in the game, right? It's very doable. I haven't done anything super spectacular. All I've done so far is make drones. So at this point, we just have to focus and make sure our injects are on point. We're going to go ahead and get +2 melee since that's done. And I'm going to start my Hydra speed upgrade. And then we're going to start some Hydras. And you see we're getting kind of close to being supply blocked, and since we have the money, I'm going to go ahead and make Overlords, and I'm going to rally them to different places on the map. And you notice my vision. Even without creep, it's looking insane. And since Protoss players thrive in chokes, we are going to start killing rocks across the map. Baneling Nest is done. We're going to start Baneling speed. Make sure our injects are on point. And then I'm going to rally a couple more drones. 89, maybe that's a little too high. That's okay. Oh, I forgot to reset the rally. You always want to rally your units so they don't just sit at the hatcheries. And now I'm just going to make Lings and Hydras. Now, kill those rocks. I moved them all so I can get these guys from up here without having to individually select them.
Mutation.
Gonna go ahead and build a queen for my 5th hatchery. You see we're already at 190 supply. So now I'm going to make a round of banelings, and we're going to take the whole army in a click. And at this time, I'm going to go ahead and get my +1 missile attacks so my hydras start getting a little beefier. And once we get the next 100 gas, I'm going to go ahead and build 1 overlord so we get the full supply, and we're going to build an infestation. Now once this is done, I'm going to make sure I rally everything across the map. I'm going to go ahead and take a 6th base as well as a 7th base. And we're going to keep establishing ourselves further in this game. We see that he already has a 4th, but we don't really care, especially since we're going up to 7, right? I gotta go ahead and get the Hydra's range upgrades. Now, the basic upgrades for the units are very important. We're gonna go ahead and start this sick gas geyser, and we're gonna keep making units.
We require more Vespine gas.
Keep rallying. We're gonna make Zerglings, and keep adding them to the group. We look there for a sec, see the fight's going okay. And once this infestation pit finishes, we're gonna go ahead and get our hive, as well as look at our injects. Make sure we're not missing any. I'm gonna go ahead and get a couple more gases. I won't, add a little bit too much Taco Bell today. I'm gonna take an 8th base as well, and we're just gonna keep all inning straight to the main base.
We require our forces are under
And I'm gonna go ahead and take these guys in the middle, make a group of Banes,
We require more
because Banelings will deal with things like Zealots. Not that we really care what we're fighting, but we're gonna go ahead and get our +2 Carapace now that our +2 melee is done, and the game is over. GG. Gotta start using the camera hotkeys. They are very important, especially for Zerg players. Like, they're important for every race because they allow you to jump between your bases quickly, but Zerg players for injecting, they are essential. Now, my Zerg APM is gonna be very high when you're making any type of Zergling build, just because of Zerglings and Banelings. Like, when I hold the E key down to make Banelings, my APM jumps up to 2k. So it'll always bump your average APM higher. But that's still no excuse. I should have stayed under 100. Should have at least tried a little harder, I guess. I was just going off the build. But you see, like, we took these little drone spikes because we weren't sure what he was doing, right? But once I had a big enough army, like where right here where I sent the Lings in, I figured they did okay because they didn't die right away, which means he didn't have a big enough army. So then I could then further my statue in the drones, which is the spike from about 659 to 80, and then we've just built an army, walked across, and we killed him. Do you feel bad for these poor silver players just trying to grind and getting you? I actually do feel bad that I'm playing them. I'm not Vibe. I actually feel some remorse about taking ladder points from lower level players, but I'm trying to make mine as informative, as educational as possible. So we got a Protoss versus Protoss here. Got to rally this probe down to the the ramp to make a pylon for our wall. So we're gonna put this pylon far enough back to where we can just have enough space to place gateways in the right locations. It is what it is. They were going to lose their cannon rush anyways. Okay, PvP. So once this pylon's about to finish, I'm going to chrono boost my probes. That way I don't lose any seconds on the chrono boost for being supply blocked. And then you're going to make the gateway always 1 square off of the side closest to your nexus. That way when you do have a natural, the probes are going down there unhindered. And at the 48-second mark, we're going to go ahead and get our gas geyser. And this is PvP. So at the 55-second mark, we're going to go ahead and get our next gas geyser. And now this probe, so our 18th probe coming out, we're going to go ahead and rally to build our second gateway. Now I'm going to chrono boost. I would suggest putting all your chrono boosts on probes for the time being. And I'm going to make the gateway. And I'm going to rally this probe back to the gas geyser, and we're going to put our probes on gas. And since we have 16 out of 16, I'm going to fill this second gas with probes rallied from the nexus. That way we still have sufficient mineral mining for the time being. I'm going to go ahead and put my cyber core down, and after the cyber core is the moment in which you want your second pylon. Keep the probes going. Got the second pylon, and now we're chilling. Because we put 2 chrono boosts into probes, most players will save. They will only put 1 chrono boost into probes. So right now, theoretically, we're already outmining him in terms of just straight up probes and resources, which 1 base versus 1 base is always a good sign. And that is why I like putting chrono boost into probes, because the chrono boost is for being aggressive, and so I will always take the defensive stature in PvP because I think it's kind of easy to defend in the matchup. We're going to start our warp gate as well as 2 stalkers, and you see we're at 27 out of 31, so I'm going to start another pylon. And this is a matchup. In mirror matchups, it's always okay to overmake SCVs because you mine less efficiently off the mineral patches, yes, but you still are technically mining more minerals. So it'll always be okay for you to put extra minerals on gas. And I'm going to go for the robo. We're going to go for the safest option. And we're going to rally those stalkers to this probe. And as soon as they are finished, we're going to go ahead and start 2 more. He's done a very good job scouting compared to the other players. And once we have 4 stalkers, we'll go out. And I'm actually going to take this 5th chrono boost or so and use it on the warp gate. And you want to stop at 20 probes. We're going to put our next pylon on the low ground. That way we're able to build a shield battery down here if we need to and defend this ramp. So we're going to stop building probes here. And I'm going to get ready for my nexus. Now, the first thing that's going to be coming out of this robo is going to be our scouting observer. So we see stalkers here. We're going to A-move our stalkers because we have 4. This is what I talked about being defensive. I'm going to move, command, shoot, move, command, shoot, move, command, shoot, and do that. That way you get a stalker. Now I'm going to put my nexus down, and we're going to build our observer. So his attack was of little to no consequence to us. I'll go ahead and put my 3rd gateway down. That way we have enough production as well. And we're going to start rallying these probes down to the natural. And once the natural finishes, we'll take the extra 4 off of this, and we will then transfer them down. Now we're going to come back up here, and we're going to build another stalker and a sentry. The sentry will be for later scouting after the observer or in case the observer dies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rally this. I'm going to build another probe. I'm going to take this observer. We're going to put it right here, and we're going to shift and hit E, which is a surveillance mode. So once it gets there, it will come up. That way you cannot all army it away from yourself. You can't make your own mistakes type thing. And we see we're 44, 47, so I'm going to go ahead and build another pylon. And I'm going to get a warp prism because we're going to go ahead and put on some pressure. You don't want to do a 1-base build without thinking of putting pressure on. And this is kind of just how PvP goes at the moment. You see our nexus is about to finish, so I'm going to go ahead and take the 4 probes that are oversaturated on here, and we're going to send them down to the natural. I'm going to chrono boost this warp prism as well as chrono boost my probes. And you see we have supply now, so I'm going to warp in a sentry and 2 stalkers. We're going to put these on my 1 hotkey, and we're going to look at what we see. We see 2 gateways at the front and 3 stalkers compared to our 7 stalkers and 2 sentries. So we probably have a good shot. I'm going to A-move these across, and I'm going to put the warp prism on 2, and we're going to send the warp prism across as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and get another pylon, and we're going to go ahead and get a robotics bay, because you have to get some sort of tech at some point. Now we're going to put our stalkers here in the middle, and we're going to go ahead and warp in. You want to maximize the amount of time that your warp-ins are on cooldown. That way, you can get as many warp-ins as possible. I'm going to make sure my probes are producing down here at the bottom. And we're going to move these guys down here. Now, we see we're about to get supply block. Make sure that doesn't happen. And I'm going to A-move these guys up the ramp and go ahead and put this warp prism in warp mode. So, I'm going to Guardian Shield, A-move up this ramp, and we're going to look away. So, let's go ahead and go take a 3rd base now, because we have over 16 probes on here. And then we're going to go ahead and take our 3rd gas. Since Guardian Shield's probably off now, I'm going to hit my army hotkey and Guardian Shield again. I don't have to be looking at this to do so. And now we're going to go for a Colossus. Now, I know you're thinking Colossus is PvP, but I'm trying not to make you guys micro-disruptors because I don't think that's necessarily important right now. So, I'm going to put another pylon down here, and then I'm going to put on my gas. And the important thing in PvP is especially damage upgrades. So we're going to go ahead and start our Forge. And we're going to go ahead and start another Observer after the Colossus and Chrono Boost it. That way, we don't have to worry about DTs or anything. Now I'm going to put Extendothermal Lance, which is the Colossi upgrade. And then we're going to go back here. Now, we're going to warp in an extra set of units down here. And I'm going to rally them to the mineral line so they start fighting. And we're letting him micro his heart out. So we're going to go ahead and start rallying probes over there. And you see we're still at 3 gateways, but we have a lot more probes now. So I'm going to go ahead, what they call the gateway explosion. I'm going to put this probe here, and I'm going to build 3 gateways. We're going to go up to 6 gates. I'm going to build some sentries for this Colossus. And then we're going to go ahead and start +1 weapons, and we're going to be saving money now almost for our 3rd Colossus. So since we see that this fight's not going that well anymore, I'm going to go ahead and send the Warp Prism home. And we're going to build another Colossus. Chrono that out. And I'm going to put my Chrono Boost back on probes. That way we further our stature in this game. We're economically in an amazing position based on the minimap. And so, why not further that? Keep getting more and more ahead, you know? And move this down there, and we're going to start a couple Stalkers, aka Meat Shields, because we don't have any upgrades. And that's okay. Now we go to the 3rd base. Gonna rally all of our probes there. I'm going to build a shield battery for safety. That way we can overcharge it if need be. And I'm going to go ahead and start my other gases. Now I'm going to chrono my +1. And since we have our extra gateways, I'm going to make use of their warp. And now that we see he's attacking, we're going to attack. We're going to grab this Colossus, put it in our army group on 1, and we're going to attack there too. And then we're going to go ahead and produce our other Colossus. At this point, I want to go ahead and go up to 7 gateways, and I want to rally my extra probes to the 3rd. I'm going to rally them to the gas, because our gas is almost done. And once we're done here, I'm going to go ahead and go up to 9 gateways. I'm going to bring these guys back, because we don't want to attack yet. I'm going to go ahead and go for a 4th base. And once we go for this 4th base, I'm going to go ahead and take this prism, and we're going to try to hit a timing with +1. Now we're going to warp in units over here. And we're going to walk across it. I'm going to go ahead and set this warp prism up here by holding shift and hitting the E key to put it in the phasing mode, and I'm going to A move my army towards him. And we're going to start rallying probes down here. Make sure we don't get supply blocked. And we're going to start +2. Oh, I need a Twilight Council for +2. Forgot that. So, warp in a Stalker. Add that over. 2 Guardian Shield, and we're going to put some Force Field. He's targeting my Colossus. That's fine. He's losing everything in the process to get it. I'm going to take these warp ins and go here. And we're going to keep rallying to our fort. At this point, I'm going to start another observer because we took that other one with our army. So we're going to keep adding more to our arsenal. Make sure we don't die, you know. I'm going to wait on this Twilight Council to finish. We're going to get +2 and charge. I'm going to hit the alarmy key because there's a time and a place for that. And we're going to A move into the main. Start charge and +2. And I'm going to chrono them both. You always want to make sure you're using your chrono boost. And we're at 75 probes comfortably. I'm going to go ahead and get a Twilight Council. That way we can spend our gas. And I'm going to go ahead and get my extra gases. Now we're going to put this observer in surveillance mode by our base. And I'm going to go ahead and start some defensive cannons. My army's doing work in the main. Don't even really need to pay attention to it. And I'm going to start another Colossus. GG. I don't tell my race at GM level, so why would I tell my race here? You're already playing at advantage when you play random, so I don't want it, like... when people JLHF me and then ask, I tell them. But I don't see the... Maybe it's just me, but I don't see the point in telling them my race. I'm already taking the disadvantage of playing random, so... It's not some... Because you're doing a tutorial series, people play very differently versus random. That's fine. It's not some moral obligation for me. And also, I doubt they do, actually. And the ones that do tend to scout really early. I don't think anyone anyways, time to... So we made it into Silver 1, which is our goal of the day. So, clap, clap, clap. All right. And, yeah, that'll conclude this episode of the Bronze to GM series. We definitely had opponents that kind of held our pushes a little better today. And we also were a lot cleaner with the macro as well. And all of this is very doable. Everything under 160 APM. So... Even your old man hands can do it, I swear. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, or this installment of the Bronze to GM series. And if you did, make sure you consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Bronze to GM. Out. Gonna do some GM laddering today? I already did, man. I already laddered quite a bit. I got tilted when I lost my last game. Skills banned. I don't know if I want to ladder anymore.